Mr. President, earlier this week, the Missouri Department of Health issued a new report that shows that life expectancy actually declined in the state of Missouri last year. Worse than that, the report showed that life expectancy has been falling in my state for almost a decade. Death rates for Missourians who are between 15 and 44 years old rose by almost 30% between 2012 and 2018. The death rate for Missourians who are between 25 and 34 is at its highest levels since the 1950s. And we know what's causing it. It's an epidemic of drug overdoses and suicides, along with a spike in crime in our cities. Now, here are the facts. Opioid-related deaths in Missouri have more than doubled in the past decade. The number of suicides is up by over 50%. And there's no end in sight. And it's not just Missouri. New data shows that deaths from suicide and drug overdoses are exploding nationwide. Suicides in this country haven't been so common since 1938. And alcohol-related deaths haven't been so high since the 1910s. The surge in deaths from drug overdoses in this country, meanwhile, is completely unprecedented. These numbers are tragic, but they are more than that. They are the signs of a crisis. We are witnessing the slow motion collapse of the working class in America. All Americans suffer from deaths of despair, but we know from the evidence that it is working people and working families who are hit the hardest. And so now the working middle of this nation is facing a struggle to survive. You don't have to look far to see it. I've seen it in the small towns of my state, in the places where TV cameras never go, where town squares sit half empty, where businesses stand shuttered, where you can buy fentanyl with the snap of a finger on any street corner. I've seen it in country places where meth is so common, they tell me that dealers hang bags of drugs from tree branches for their buyers to retrieve, a literal landscape of despair and addiction. I've seen it in the faces of young farmers who put a crop in and pray for rain and pray for sun and pray for fair prices, and then wonder if generations of family farming are going to end with them. I've seen it from young mothers raising kids alone and working a job and trying to go to school at night and trying to shield their children from the drugs and from the pathologies online. I've heard it in the words of young men who graduated high school only to find no jobs and no place to learn a trade and no hope for anything that's better. This is the struggle of working life today. And in my state, it is a struggle shared by white and black alike, and by everybody of every race, because the breakdown of family and neighborhood, the loss of good work, and the epidemic of addictive drugs, these things don't know racial boundaries. This is a struggle we are in together. It's a struggle that brings us together, a struggle for the things we love together, for home and family and country. And the future of this country will be defined by how we meet this challenge. You can see all of this if you'll look. The problem is this town won't look. This town is obsessed with partisan theatrics. This town is obsessed with money and influence and status. This town wants to keep its own good times going. The political elite here live in a world where the struggle of working Americans is just a human interest story that you read about right along with the gossip page. But it's time for this town to take some responsibility. It is time for the governing class to admit that the policies it has pursued for decades on trade, on immigration, on finance, have helped drive working people to this crisis. And it's time to acknowledge that a crisis for working America is a crisis for all of America. It's not enough for wealthy people in Silicon Valley to do well. And by the way, those people, don't need any more advocates in this city. They've got lots of them already. It is working people who need advocates here, and it is working families who need a voice. You know, working folks don't ask for much. They work hard, they love their families, they love God, they love the place where they live, and they want the opportunity to build a home there and a way of life that is prosperous and that is secure and that is meaningful and that they can pass on to their children. And Mr. President, that is not too much to ask. In the America of the 21st century, that is not too much to expect. It is not too much to stand for and to fight for, because it is the working people of this country that built this nation. And they're the ones who keep it going now. And they are the ones where this country's strength is found. And it's the working people of this country, their future and their families, that are going to define the future of our country. And I would just say, this is what we should be debating. This challenge is what we should be confronting. This crisis is what we should be looking to and addressing, because this is what is going to define our time.